Picture this. The lights of the MetLife Stadium are off. The grass in Los Angeles is untouched. The world's greatest players, Mbappe, Bellingham, Yamal, are nowhere to be found. This isn't a dystopian movie. It is the nightmare scenario currently keeping FIFA executives awake at night. A massive movement is gaining momentum across the Atlantic, one that threatens to derail the 2026 World Cup before the first whistle even blows. European football associations, backed by millions of fans, have initiated a formal boycott petition against the United States. The reason? The political climate under the return of Donald Trump. Tonight, we go inside the fallout. To understand how we got here, we have to look back at the 2018 winning bid. The United bid, featuring the US, Canada, and Mexico, was promised to be the biggest and most lucrative World Cup in history. It was sold as a symbol of North American unity. However, the political landscape of 2026 looks vastly different than the one envisioned in 2018. The return of America First policies, controversial travel bans, and shifting diplomatic alliances have turned a sporting celebration into a lightning rod for international protest. Historically, the World Cup has survived boycotts before, most notably in 1974 and 1982, but never has a host nation faced a revolt of this magnitude from the core of the footballing world, Europe. The spark that lit the fire happened this week in Brussels and Berlin. Reports began to surface of a coordinated petition titled Fair Play for the World. It wasn't just a group of activists, it was a coalition of fans, civil rights groups, and high-ranking members of European sports ministries. The petition demands that FIFA move the tournament or face a total withdrawal of the top European squads. The core grievances center on concerns over visa entry for fans from specific nations, the potential for political interference in the games, and the fundamental clash between FIFA's Human Rights Charter and the domestic policies of the Trump administration. Within 24 hours, the petition garnered over 2 million signatures from across France, Germany, and the UK. We have obtained internal communications from several European football associations. One memo, allegedly from a senior official in the French Football Federation, expresses grave concern regarding the safety and equal treatment of their diverse roster and traveling supporters. Photos of leaked WhatsApp groups among European ultras show a coordinated effort to block ticket sales. Even more damning are the public statements from high-profile figures. While many players remain silent due to contracts, insider sources suggest that several top-tier stars are discussing a joint statement. The evidence is clear. This isn't just internet noise. It is a calculated diplomatic strike against the host nation. The reaction from the industry has been one of pure panic. FIFA President Gianni Infantino has reportedly been in back-to-back emergency meetings. U.S. Soccer issued a brief statement emphasizing that the U.S. remains committed to hosting a safe and inclusive event for all, but the market is already reacting. Major sponsors like Coca-Cola and Adidas are facing immense pressure on social media to pull their funding. Former legends of the game are split. Some, like Eric Cantona, have hinted at supporting the boycott, while others argue that the World Cup should be a bridge, not a wall. The tension is palpable, and the silence from the White House has only added fuel to the fire. If this boycott succeeds, the implications are catastrophic. We are talking about billions of dollars in lost broadcasting revenue, empty stadiums, and the potential collapse of the 2026 World Cup as a viable commercial entity. But the fallout goes deeper than money. It marks the end of the era where sports could pretend to be neutral. If Europe pulls out, the World Cup becomes a regional tournament, losing its world status and its prestige. It could lead to a permanent schism in FIFA, with the potential for a new, rival international federation. The United States would not just lose a tournament, it would lose its standing as a premier destination for global events. As we stand at this crossroads, one question remains. Who owns the World Cup? Is it the fans, the players, the politicians, or the highest bidder? The 2026 tournament was intended to be a celebration of the game's expansion, but it has instead become a mirror reflecting our divided world. Whether the boycott petition results in a full-scale withdrawal or a last-minute compromise, the beautiful game has already been scarred. The world is watching, and the clock is ticking. For Fame Fallout, I'm your narrator. We will continue to follow this story as it develops. Make sure to subscribe for updates on this unprecedented crisis.